Ayro stock analysis. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about yet another EV stock on the commercial side. This ticker symbol is AYRO, guys. This is another American company, but this one is a bit on the smaller side. So this company actually is designing a fleet of commercial vehicles for kind of short haul and urban markets. So they aren't really making cars like Tesla or cars for personal use like Solo. They're more so producing things like for corporate campuses and college campuses and stuff like that, and a smaller three-wheeled concept car kind of like Solo is. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this stock is that this stock has been ticking up a lot. As you can see, it was up about 45% yesterday at the end of the market close, and the market cap is around. Okay, so the stock was up pretty big on Thursday's trading session, so it was up to over 45%. But the good thing is that the market cap is still only $150 million. So this is probably one of the smallest EV stocks that I've seen so far. And what I've been trying to do is give you guys some of these picks before they catch on to the mainstream and then the price soars. So let's get right into it, guys. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the company, give you guys a good background. We're going to dig through the latest quarterly earnings report. I'm going to give you guys a long-term price projection. So, okay, guys, so let's talk a little bit more about the company. So here we have Ayro. Now, this is another electric company. So as you can see here, here's one of their concept vehicles. It's called the Club Car 411. Yes, very interesting name. But the good thing is that this is a perfect type of vehicle. As you can see here, it looks perfect for things like college campuses, corporate campuses. You know, perhaps a company like Apple, which has their own campus, would use a vehicle like this. And it's basically used for short haul and things like this. It actually kind of looks like perhaps like a security type vehicle that like security guards would use on a campus or something like that. But the purpose of this is kind of for enclosed environments to kind of electrify these type of vehicles. So as you can see here, they're really targeting basically corporate campuses, hotel resorts, governments, of course, college campuses, and perhaps even the food and beverage industry. So they have two vehicles, right? So as I mentioned earlier, the Club Car 411, that's for electric light duty works. And then they have this Ayro 311, which is a three-wheeled delivery type vehicle. So this one would be kind of, this is kind of a unique offering. I really haven't seen any other electric vehicle companies offering kind of vehicles for campuses. And the Ayro, that's kind of a competitor to the Solo, although I think Electromechanica's Solo vehicle looks a lot more attractive than this one. Kind of looks a bit like a go-kart or something like that. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the vehicles a little bit more in depth. Starting off with the 311, this is kind of their original vehicle that they're producing, a very direct competitor to the Solo vehicle. And basically, you know, this company as well as Solo, they're kind of predicting a change in the types of vehicles that people are going to drive. So as you know, a lot of people are driving currently four-seater vehicles, where almost 90% of the time when you look outside and you're driving, when you're outside in society in general, you only see one person in the car. So these companies are kind of predicting that, well, you know, if you're single and you're living in the city and things like that, why pay for 3 extra seats? So these smaller three-wheeled vehicles, the Ayro 311, it only actually holds 2 people. So as you can see here, it has different body options and things like that. Very unique, different car. And a lot of people might say, oh, the car looks funny looking. It looks weird and things like that. But, obviously, I think it's time to embrace change. I think the consumer is ready for different types of products. And although I think the Solo looks way better than this car does have some type of uses. It looks like it can definitely work for some individuals, probably more so for delivery and quick shore hauls. I can't really imagine too many people using it for personal use, but you'd be surprised. Like I said, the Solo vehicle had a ton of pre-orders as well, so this vehicle has potential as well. Right now I'm at the point where I'm really not trying to fight change. I'm just trying to say, well, you know, there's millions of consumers in the United States. Obviously someone will find use for this type of vehicle. And as you can see here, it's lots of different uses. Of course, it can use for mail delivery, security, cargo delivery, food delivery, parking enforcement, and even personal use. So if you take a look at some of the specs here, you can see, like I said, very economical car. You know, if we take a look, it doesn't go that fast. It only goes up to 50 miles per hour, and it can actually hold 2 people or just 1 passenger and the cargo space. So, you know, there really isn't much information on the actual price of this vehicle, and they really haven't produced a lot of these yet. But my guess is that the car is going to obviously be much more cheaper than most electric cars like Tesla and things like that. So I don't think it's a good idea that the company hasn't really listed the price and things like that. But like I said, this is a very small company. They were founded in 2017. So their goal is to produce about 20,000 vehicles over the next 3 years. So it looks like right now they're kind of just in you know, preparation mode and just trying to gauge interest before they make this vehicle. Now, the second vehicle, which I mentioned earlier, is called the Club Car 411. So this one has a lot of interest already. As you can see here, it's a little bit more practical for campuses and things like that, saying is that they can use this to haul things. So, you know, I'm thinking of uses like anything that's got some weight to it, furniture, things like that, you know, uses for construction sites and things like that could definitely use this type of vehicle. And like I said, you know, these type of vehicles, as you can see here, this is great for hauling stuff around, things like that, delivering packages, maintenance, of course, you know, buildings, events. You know, if you can see something like this, you know, perhaps, you know, going to a sports stadium or something like that, kiosk, catering, and delivery. So the good thing about this truck, like I said, once again, they're just taking interest on their, on these vehicles, and this is a very small company. So now let's take a look at the latest quarterly report to give you guys some more insight into the company. So here we go. So they announced third quarter earnings on November 6th. Now, like I said, this company does not have a lot of revenue. There's revenue is only about $388,000 with a total cash position of $27 million, and they just took in over $2 million so in losses. So, but the good thing is that they're planning to expand. So as you can see here, they have the capacity to deliver over 20,000 of these types of vehicles over the next 3 years at a value of more than 300 million. They've expanded their Austin manufacturing factory. They're based out of Texas from 10,000 square feet to 24,000 square feet. And they're looking to increase their production from 200 vehicles to 600 vehicles per month. And they already, like I mentioned, they already have a few pre-orders as well. They have a partnership with Gallery Carts. They have around $584,000 in orders, and then they received and deployed initial order from Club Car for 9 Club Car 411s to serve a military medical campus in the Northeast, and their backlog is around 624,000. So, like I said, they had a few equity raises. They raised about $28 million in cash. Not a lot of revenue now, but, you know, at a market cap of just $150 million, there's a ton of upside here. For you guys that don't know, Tesla, when they first started out, yes, Tesla stock maybe 10 years ago was trading at like $1 or $2. Yeah, it's hard to believe it, but, you know, Tesla's come a long way, and for people that bought Tesla stock when it was like $1 or $2, if you had a decent position, you made a lot of money. Tesla made a lot of people millionaires. So what I'm saying with these electric car stocks is a lot of people are wondering, like, why are they going up so much? Because, you know, society is changing. So if you buy some of these companies now and you can hold them over the next 1, 2, 5, 10 years, you're going to make a lot of money. Most of these companies that I'm covering in these videos, they have pre-orders. I'm not going to talk about a company that doesn't have any built-in demand, because then it's completely speculative. But this company is, like I said, it's very cheap and a very low market cap. And even though the stock is at around $6, I think that with 20,000 deliveries planned over the next 3 years or $300 million in revenue, even if it were to trade at a conservative price to sales ratio of like 5 to 10, that would make the company worth at least $1 billion over the next 2 to 3 years, and is currently trading at a market cap of 150 million. So I think it's pretty undervalued. And so now let's talk a little bit about my future price projections. So now these stocks, you know, the thing about electric vehicle stocks is that the real money is going to be made getting in early. So if you wait until the company starts ramping up production and ramping up production like Tesla, sure, you can make good money. But the real money with Tesla was made when you bought years ago before the production. So all about these electric vehicle stocks, it's all about kind of trying to predict what's going to happen in the future. This is basically a very, very young company, only been around 3 years or so. So I think the sky's the limit. You know, there's a lot of campuses all over America. We have thousands of colleges in America. You've got tons of corporate campuses. There's practical use for these vehicles, and companies are running to turn green. As you guys saw, if you guys happen to watch Apple's recent presentations, where they talked about all of their new products, there was a huge focus on going green. So if Apple is focused on going green, I expect a lot of other companies to follow suit, and companies and campuses and many different organizations are going to need short haul delivery vehicles. And that's where I think Ayro is going to make a lot of money. So like I said, guys, here's my future price target, you know, with around potential revenue of around 300 million over the next 3 years. I wouldn't be surprised to see this company worth over $1 billion in the near future. I think right now, since people are starting to catch on to the stock and a lot of these EV stocks are lifting in price, I think that a conservative price target by the end of the year for Ayro would at least be $12. That would kind of match the future projection in revenue. So that would give it a future potential revenue of like 300 million. And then that would give it a market cap of 300 million. So that's obviously extremely conservative. And I gave you guys a very conservative valuation of Solo in a couple of videos back, and Solo stock went through the roof. So sometimes I like to be conservative on my valuations. I don't like to just kind of tell you guys that this thing's going to be a 10 bagger, but you know, that's what it looks like. So like I said, this is a great time to buy in early. There's a couple ways you can play this stock. If you guys are trading on Robinhood, obviously you can just make a long position, but you can also trade stock options. I've been doing really, really well this week. Basically started out ahead using Robinhood, and I've made quite a bit of money this week just trading options on some of these EV stocks, and I think Ayro is another one with a lot of potential. So that's what I would do. I would say if you want to hold a long position, go ahead and buy some shares, but you don't have to necessarily own the underlying stock to make money, because EV stocks are going up, and I do not believe that this is an EV bubble. I just believe that these stocks have been undervalued for quite some time, and now with whole Joe Biden's, you know, green plan, and the fact that a lot of people are realizing that our air is heavily polluted. I mean, you've got countries all over the world with huge pollution problems. You've got pollution and problems in Asia, Africa, Europe, United States. Most of the developed world, and even, you know, underdeveloped countries have a pollution issue. So this isn't necessarily a bubble. This isn't hype. This is reality. We need to make changes in terms of the vehicles that we use in order to preserve our ecosystem, because there's just too much carbon emissions right now. We need to reduce this. So this is one of the reasons why EV stocks are going up. So like I said, with Ayro, I think a price target of around $12 by the end of the year is conservative, with the potential for maybe 5 to 10x upside in the next year or two, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to cover more hot EV stocks that can make you guys a lot of money, just smash the subscribe button. And if you guys want me to cover any specific stock, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to make a video if I get enough thumbs up on that comment. So that's it until next time, guys. Take care.